Next up, we are discussing the decision of Cineworld in Bolton to pull a film about the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad entitled The Lady of Heaven. After more than 100 people protested outside the cinema, other cinemas have been quick to follow suit. The protesters regard the film as blasphemous, and the Bolton Council of Mosques welcomed the decision to pull the film. But many local residents were unhappy at the protests, regarding them as aggressive and overly intimidating. So with me to debate this is Dr. Sheikh Ramzy, Imam and Director at the Oxford Islamic Information Center, and Malik Shlibek, the executive producer of the controversial film The Lady of Heaven. Thank you both for joining me today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Sheikh Ramzy, I want to come to you first.
Yes.
Obviously, it's a very emotional topic and people are very upset about the film. Can you explain in your own words, what is it about this film in particular that upsets you?
The falsehood of that, the first, because I believe not a little bit of truth is in there, and we cannot accept what is especially in theological or Islamic. We cannot believe, and of course we cannot feed, especially good British people, falsehood. This is wrong. It's very important. It's wrong. Yes.
So is your concern that it is a historically inaccurate portrayal of...
Completely wrong falsehood. No, it's not a matter of inaccurate. It's a falsehood. They made this one. I believe, of course, before I start, I have to say, God bless you all. I didn't say that, you pushed me into that. But God bless you all, and may Allah bless you all. You are good people of God. What I would like to say, firstly, I'm not against any Shia sect. I like both together. I like all of them together. I serve humanity. I serve humanity for 40 years. I serve humanity from the United Nations to the lowest. This is my job. I serve humanity. But truth important. Truth is important. Again, I believe this film is spreading falsehood. Okay, falsehood. And then I tell you, of course, I looked at the minutes a couple of days ago. We were again on air. But I tell you one thing is here. One thing is here, which I looked at the 1 minute. 1 minute. A mother. I looked at a mother. You decide. You decide, and of course the audience which are looking. You decide. But a mother telling a story, bad stories to the son. To the son. He says, my darling. And what sort of a story, bad story is that? Which he got the film, of course, putting, fighting, burning, attacking the little young, of course, the Fatima was very young teenager. Young teenager burning and destroying. Right, and he says, allow me to say it, and he says, remember that means he is trying to make him against the Sunnis.
Okay, so I'm going to have to bring in Malik at this point, because it sounds to me like there are various issues here regarding the representations within the film. This appears to be what is upsetting you. How do you respond to the accusation that the way in which these historical figures are being portrayed is offensive to both those figures and the people who have so much faith in them?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on. I'm not sure I understood a word Dr. Sheikh said respectfully. I don't know if you did. But I would like to first start by just mentioning, hats off to the UK government for sacking the advisor, official advisor for supposedly for Islamophobia, Qari Asim, which just happened yesterday. So hats off to them. That's a clear message that this kind of rhetoric isn't permitted in this country and we won't tolerate it.
Can you just explain a bit more? The film, there have been Muslim people are involved in the making of this film.
Yeah.
So what is precisely the objection?
So to answer your question, you asked me about this offence and what's going on here. I mean, the issue is, and this is what I want Dr. Sheikh to understand here, the truth and the reality of the matter, Doctor, is that your beliefs actually offend me, and they offend hundreds of millions of Muslims.
What 100 million Muslims you're talking about?
One at a time.
Can I express? You've had your time. If I can please express my
I will
side.
come to you. Don't worry.
This is a reality. You might not disagree. In your bubble, it might not be a truth, but I can clarify for you, and I can tell you that hundreds of millions.
It's not truth at all. Carry on, please.
Hundreds of millions of Muslims disagree and are offended by your beliefs.
Where is the 100? No, please let me know. Where is the 100 millions of people? They have nothing at all in this country. We are trying to do in this country is a 5 million Muslims. Listen, 5 million Muslims is that.
It has to be one at a time.
Okay, 5 million. Allow me to tell you, 5 million Muslims is here. Sorry, 3 million Muslims is here, and 10% is a Shia. 300,000, and we have 120,000.
Sorry, I don't.
120,000. 120,000 2000 we have signature on the petition, which goes to the parliament, and parliament made it cancel. We haven't got a blasphemy law here. We got a cancellation law. Where is your petition, which is 120 people? God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please.
Allow him to finish.
Please.
Do you know anything about Shia Islam, Dr.
I know. I'm a scholar on Shia Islam.
Sorry.
No. You're asking me if you don't know. That's if you don't.
I would like my other guest to have his say. If you can't let him have his say without interrupting, we'll have to terminate the interview.
Dr. Sheikh, I said, I hope you do know, you would know the name Sheikh al-Tusi. He's a 5th century Shia scholar, one of the biggest names in Shia Islam. All Shia Muslims across the world, no matter how many internal disagreements they may have, they agree on this scholar. al-Tusi from the 5th century, a very classical scholar. He says in his works that the Shia are in a consensus that Abu Bakr and Umar killed Lady Fatima. So it is a mainstream belief of Shia Muslims. We believe that we have a right to express this as our religious beliefs. And why your beliefs offend Shia Muslims is because you believe that Abu Bakr and Umar were the best people to have ever lived. So these people have killed Our Lady Fatima.
This sounds like we're getting into a theological debate. Actually, I'm less interested in that. What I'm interested in is the film in of itself. What would be so wrong, if I can ask, for someone to make a film that is historically inaccurate, that represents figures that you admire in this way? Why not just not go and see the film? Why could that not be the end of it?
This opened, again, I said 120,000 people signed first. And secondly, do you see what I said it before here, it was the bedtime stories which the mother tell the son is a revenge. Go and get a revenge. You haven't seen it. I told you, they say going to, mother, he says, allow me to tell you, mother tell the child, Remember, they burned that, they've done that, they destroyed the woman which his father was dead. And after that, what is happening? What we do here in this, you do not go and tell your child this story bedtime. If I tell my child, I will be abused. That's a child abuse.
But again, with respect, you're talking about the content of the film. And
I'm talking about content of the film.
But I'm asking you a broader question. Even if the content of the film is not accurate or acceptable to you or offensive to you, why can you not just not watch the film?
Okay. Now what we come into this one, because it's offend again. They are offending even the Fatima, the Lady of Heaven, Heavenly Lady. They are offending her here. We written down, and I am very worried. Which one of the Shia Cleric. One of the Shia extreme cleric, all of them, I love them. Why the Shia extreme cleric? And suddenly come and says, you touching my lady, I'm going to get your lady. That therefore, they're going to damage, allow me 1 second, they're going to damage.
I've got to go to Malik now.
Don't let me to finish it, is it? Is it good?
1 second. Without getting into the theological dispute, I'm asking a broader question, which is about, why can't people, if they're offended by the film, just simply not watch the film? This is what I want to address, rather than the theological niceties.
So I wasn't actually speaking about theology. My point was that both sides offend each other, religiously speaking. So in terms of freedom of speech, both parties should be able to respect each other instead of one trying to censor the other, right? It's not a game of who can bully the other more, and then that's censored. It should be, as we are in Britain, we have freedom of speech. And the only people in the world that haven't accepted this till today are these radicals, to be honest. And the main point I want to put across here is, the writer of the film, they call him a hate preacher, as your guest has just done. So the only reason they call him hate preacher is because a couple of decades ago, he actually came out for the first time speaking about his beliefs, which is Abu Bakr and Umar killed the Lady Fatima. So they're saying he's a hate preacher because he doesn't fall in line with what we believe, and now he's a hate preacher again because he's doing a film about his own personal beliefs.
Do you fear for... at the moment, the protests have been peaceful. Do you fear for any possible ramifications? Some people have found the protest intimidating.
That's for the police to decide and investigate. I personally aren't fearful at all. I believe this is all empty threats. These are sort of, even though I call them radicals, they are a softer version. ISIS will threaten you, bully you, and kill you if you offend them. These groups will try to threaten violence. They're a softer version of radicalism. They are on the radical scale, but they're not exactly... like ISIS.
Can I ask you, Doctor? So, do you feel with this film, what would you like to see happen? Can I put you a direct question?
Yes.
Would you like the British government to ban this film?
It's not a matter of banning. The British government usually don't ban. The British government cancel. We haven't got the blasphemy. British government already said to cancel it. It is a way which they do. They say we have been threatened. Our staff been threatened. No, none of. No,
For 5 years I've had death threats,
allow me to tell you what I am worried here. What I am worried here, which a Shia cleric, I don't know how to tell you. A Shia cleric go and stab the one little woman. He says, you done my lady, I'm going to do your lady. And the lady want to go to the Tesco or whatever, they stab him or damage him. I'm kidding. That's what I'm worried, and that's what I'm saying.
So you wouldn't like to see the government ban this film?
It's not a matter of banning. The government cancel it. We got 120,000 people they signed. What I want to see, if the government want to ban it or not is up to government, which you decide. But the government can cancel that. He says, don't stop it. Stop it.
What's the difference being
That's the difference. That's the difference. Tell the government what is that. We haven't got the blasphemy. We don't want the film to be shown.
Right.
You know why? Because I said I am trying to prevent a lady, a Shia, a Muslim lady, Sunni lady get killed because of the one cleric. This is what I want, and I want to stop it.
Let's bring Malik in. Come on.
I respect that sentiment. You're saying you want to protect a Shia lady from having this problem. So
Muslim, it's Sunni ladies. Sunni ladies, not Shia ladies.
Muslim, non-Muslim, I agree with you to stop any type of violence. But this is what I say to you: the radicals now are claiming and having this rhetoric of saying you are not allowed to speak about these things, otherwise we will commit violence. Sir, I ask you, sir, doctor, I ask you. Who are you worried?
We have 120,000.
Before we answer, can we hear the question?
I ask you, who are the ones we are worried about that are committing this violence? From what I understand, we are.
I understand Shia's doing it. You're telling me, and I'm telling you.
Let's just have the question, and then the answer.
That was a question.
I'm saying that I hope,
finish the question.
Doctor, I hope that it's the radicals, the fringe radicals, that we're worried about committing acts of violence, not the general Muslim population. From as far as I know, as far as I believe, the general Muslim population are peaceful individual people in this country. So if it is just these fringe radicals that we're worried about threatening, committing violence, why is it that you are saying the same thing as these radicals, which is don't speak about these things, otherwise there will be violence? If we were really against the radicals, doctor, we would be stamping out the radicals. Are we going to pay?
You cannot. Allow me to tell you. You cannot make the British people fool. They are not fool.
We won't get anywhere.
They understand. This is important. They cannot. They can. You want a pack of lies to give them, and it's wrong, totally wrong. And I support all the British people. God bless you all.
Are we going to play whack-a-mole every time a group comes up and speaks about what they believe and these radicals threaten them, or are we going to whack these radicals?
We have a freedom of expression, but not freedom of insult. You are insulting the Fatima. Insulting the Fatima. I love the Fatima, and you are insulting it, and it's wrong because you made him. Let me tell you for audience. Allow me to tell you. Let me tell the audience. No, his father was a prophet and a warrior. He was a top warrior. 5 or 6 war he was there. Her husband was called Asadullah, the lion of God. And his son was... Allow me to tell you. What is happening?
We all understand.
And they make it like this.
Sorry, guys, we're going to have to put an end to this. We all understand that you're offended, and we all understand you expressed your reasons for being offended, but we are evading the point.
Yeah.
And the point is this. If there was a film that offended me, for instance, should I have the right to say nobody should be able to see that film? Or is it just what offends you?
No. What we have here, we have 120,000. Again, you don't understand it. 120,000. We have our signature. It gone to the government, and the government look at it every 5 minutes. They see it. Government look 120,000. Let's do something about it. And they done something about it. That's my opinion for the government, because I work with the government. However,
and you've expressed it very clearly, and I understand the strength of emotion. I do understand the
people does not want to see.
I would like one final word for Malik.
My one final word is actually for the UK population in general. This radical rabbit hole is a lot deeper than we realise. For me, anyone who tries to threaten or bully groups to express themselves freely, as long as they're staying within the law, is by definition a radical. And these people that I've been debating the last week on live television are on the radical scale. They're just a softer form of radicalism.
OK. Well, I think both of you have expressed your views very clearly. When one person was speaking at a time, we were able to kind of get there. And I think this shows that it's really important to be able to talk and not just talk over each other. I think a lot of
talk over it. It's how it goes. That's a debate. Somebody says that. Somebody says no. What if the last thing I tell you, my brother and sister?
Even on live TV.
Can I say I know
one
live
more
TV?
point, and then we've got to go to a break.
God bless you. Now, there's a very, very important thing is that this one made for revenge from the Shias to the Sunnis, and I am trying to say, please, we want to prevent the little lady get killed in the middle of the street. And God bless you. That's all I want to say. The people should know. The people should know is total lie and a false is that. And I prove it as a scholar, Islamic scholar. Right. God bless you. Good man you are.
One last statement for my colleague.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm afraid we do have to go to a break. I'm sure this will go on and on. I wasn't planning on resolving this tonight. Let's be honest.
God bless. God bless.